I think I'm in now. We'll see what happens. Let me refresh my screen. There I am. Yay. My heavens. The phone just kept giving me that little black circle going round and around. I'm like, what is it doing? Had enough technical difficulties at 8 o'clock trying to have the sale and having to film through the laptop. It was a hot mess. Oh. Well, I see Fiona is here. No, it wasn't yours. It was Android at 7:30. The stupid phone insisted it was going to do an update. So I was scrambling because by 8 o'clock for the sale earlier, it didn't want to let me in. It was still updating. And then when it finally like finished the update, then of course it's got to download, reopen, and then put all those uploads, downloads in or whatever. It was a hot mess, and trying to film off of the laptop just created all kinds of technical difficulties. And I don't know why, but even on my phone, the lighting, I mean, I put lights away from me and the lighting still looks all overexposed. So it's just been very, very weird. It's just been weird. But I I and my son just texted me. Great. So it's been rough. I miss my night owls. I really miss my night owls desperately, especially today. That sale with all the technical difficulties, I only sold 9 things, and I'm getting maybe 20 to 30 people. I miss my night owls. It's like, well, when you switch time slots, and Patrick, I'm sure, is going through the same thing. When you switch time slots like that, you are kind of having to start over again. So he said that tonight, he said that next week, because he'll be traveling and on the road, he will not be having a live sale next week at 11 o'clock at night. So I may have the short one at 8, and then I will see if I can get enough stuff together. If I might have a live sale back at 11 o'clock next week so I can come see my night owls. Oh, I see other Nancy. Hello. And that quick, I have a cat clawing at the window to want to come in. Telling you, it's the way the day has been. This is what I found. There's some pictures in the corner at this end. I know that's picture of me. Let me go get this cat in. Hours and okay. All right. It figures. I'm back. She's now back inside. So, oh my goodness. So, other Nancy's here. Hi, darling. And So I was trying to find stuff for the sale, and there's 3 boxes of books left in the kitchen from the one estate that have been in front of a coat closet that I have not been in years. I got in there, most of it's empty. I filmed it, so I'll get a film. I'm starting to put pieces together for a video, and I found 2 wool coats in there that were just they were. I didn't see any live moths. I've never seen any moths flying out of there around that closet, but um, really, she wouldn't come in. I think the raccoon was out there, and now she's back at the window again. Wants me to let her in. So I ended up with 2 vintage wool coats that went in the trash. But the only thing left in there is there's the marble for the fireplace and a couple other things where they're not fabric. But then there was this bag sitting there. I had no idea what this bag, that's a book on tatting, what this bag was. I just knew I saw a couple of photographs sticking out in the corner. So I thought, you know what? I could go see my night owls. How long does Patrick run? Well, Patrick only runs about an hour and a half. So I thought I'd come see you guys and we do a sorting night and see what I find. If you want, I can show you the stuff that didn't sell from the sale earlier and we can sell that. At one point, I only had 9 people earlier. And I get it because by being on at that earlier time, that's Christmas shopping time. People are out shopping. They're at the malls and running around and come on, there's one more. And then that dusty, nasty bag is going to get thrown away because it'd be trash night. So, what do we got? Oh, cool. My parents. Wow. Mom in the dress that we always said made it look like somebody took a bite out of her. You see the picture there? That dress does look like somebody took a bite out of her. This is why when I was asked in school, what color was your mom's hair? I could never tell them because I don't remember my mother without a fair amount of gray in her hair. Just don't. I wonder who all this stuff is from. These are some old pictures. Oh, the god-awful hair. All right. I will embarrass myself by showing you this picture. Maybe 3rd grade? Age 7. What's 7? 2nd grade? 1973. Yeah, that's me. That is me. That is my 7-year-old self. What did my mother do to my hair? Oh my goodness. This must have been a wallet thing from my dad's mother because there's pictures in here of my cousin Debbie, my cousin Bill, and they're the only ones on that side. Oh wow, there's a lot of old school photos. I remember this white dress. This is 1976. I graduated 5th grade. You see how red the hair was. This is my kindergarten. Look at that. Kindergarten picture. Oh, so 70s. Putting little kids in a vest. Oh my. Now, you saw that picture of my face, right? This is not me. But doesn't the face look pretty close? That's my sister. That's her 2nd grade picture from 1959. Kind of had the same face then. Not so much now. Definitely then. So that's kind of cool. I'll have to figure out who some of these are because there's at least these have a lot of names on the back. But I don't know a lot of them. Wallace Fund. I don't know who they are. But I think because these are from my. Now I do know this one, but it doesn't say who the baby was. 1955 September. Well, it's none of us kids because we weren't born then. But that's my dad's mother, and I will have to check some dates to know if that's my grandfather or if that is her twin brother, because they both had ears that stick out and they both had those kind of glasses. But my dad's father died long before I was born of throat cancer. So, oh, wow. Another time I had short hair. That's my mom where my finger is. But this is from when I was 13. This is my sister's wedding. This is one of the few pictures of all 6 of us. And we just lost this guy here in the middle. That one. Because that's Steve. He's the one that passed away in August. And the 7th was really hard because the 7th would have been his birthday. He would have been 73. So it was rough. It was rough. So most of these are pretty modern. I was kind of half suspecting they might be some like really old. What did I do with the really old? Well, I got them up there. I could show you some older ones. And oh, here's the one that I could see. That's me in this house in front of the fireplace in this room. All pinhole, corkscrew curls. I probably slept with little rags. Who ever had those rag curls when they were kids? You know, that where they tied your hair up in little strips. A lot of pictures of grandchildren and great grandchildren here. Oh, this is a cute one. These are my first 2 nieces. The one with the blue hat nearest my finger is Jennifer, and the one with the white hat and the big grin, that's Sarah. Sarah made me an aunt when I was only 10 years old when she was born. Oh my goodness. This is going to have to go on a live sale. Check this out. So this is the image. And then this is the image on the back. But guess what? This is the pamphlet. It's actually die cut and has the instructions for both of them in the inside. I thought it was just a magazine picture, but it's the actual pattern. Had to set that aside. I will be on oh wow. Gary and Roy. I know that face anywhere. I will be on Trisha's sale on Sandy and Auto Channel. I will be with her, and who she got? Me, Nikki, her. She's got 4 of us on this Saturday, and I'll be on her sale. These are my brothers, Gary and Roy. Gary's the one with the glasses. He's the disabled one who lives with me. And that picture of Roy, God, he looks so much. His son looks so much like him at that age. It's amazing. Absolutely amazing. Oh, geez. Look at these pictures. Look at little toddlers and striped coats. Matching striped coats. That little blonde is my sister and sister Phyllis, and then that means the little boy there would be Steve. They're only 2 years apart. So he's maybe 3 in that. Oh, that is so fun to find. I'm gonna have to put that into something so I can send it to her kids. It's the fun of like when you know you have extra photos of things, then you can, make stuff up. I've been making up stuff so that I can put together these books for my nieces and nephews. Okay, so this has Something the Bells, Pennsylvania Eastern Star, June 24th, 1965. So it's from the year I was born. I can see my grandmother down the front. She, of course, is not looking at the camera, but check out. Okay, what is it? Order of the Eastern Star, Matrons. So the highest level in the female side of Masons is the matron, for Order of the Eastern Star, because Eastern Star is the female side of the Masons. This it says my year as worthy matron. So this was the year that my grandmother was worthy matron, 1965 to 1966, and this was the luncheon. Check out these hats. Look at the hats on these ladies. Isn't that great picture? That's something I wouldn't mind seeing come back a bit, is the hats. The really cool hats. That's my mom. This is her graduation photo. That's her high school graduation picture. Okay. Okay, so these are glued to the cardboard. They are, oh, they're not glued to the cardboard. So these are examples of tatting, right? They're not glued to the cardboard. They're sewn to it. They're actually stitched directly on it. My great aunts all knew how to do that. I have no clue. There is a 1970 pearl and bead instruction booklet. Shows you how to make all these different types of necklaces. We're going to save that sucker for a live sale. Let me move these over. How is everybody doing with all their Christmas stuff? You guys getting there? Getting ready? I don't have so many to shop for like when I was younger, so. Oh, I guess that little piece of tatting goes with this book. Tatting, a fascinating book of delicate lace designs. Shows you different patterns, different laces. I know I still have some handkerchiefs that have tatting designs. This is from 1944. And I know there should be this shuttle thing. I should have a couple of them. So, yeah, I had bright red hair as a kid. To my disgust, it has tried fading to blonde as I get older. Now, I will have to check this and make sure it has no moths or is still good shape. So in daylight, I'll take it out back and brush it. This is a vintage piece of what they call embossed velvet. Oh, this needs an airing out. It smells like dust. So the pattern is pressed down, and they squish it down with heat. They make hot printing plates and they crush it There we go. There you can see the pattern. I don't know how much it is. Well, it's fairly sizable. I mean, this is folded up 4 times. It's a fairly big piece. But it definitely needs an airing out. It doesn't smell musty. It smells like dust. So that's going to need to get aired out. That's a cool piece. Yeah, I'll have to check it because it feels like there's I don't see anything, but I can feel a little grit, which means the backing may be starting to have problems. But still, really cool heavyweight vintage piece. Oh, wow. So here is a hand stitched, and it's only had the basting stitches. So apparently this was going to be a quilt block. And on the back of the fabric, it says cane sugar. So the backing is a piece of muslin from a cane sugar bag. But these only have the big basting stitches on most of it. So it's only got the parts to hold them down. So that's in here. There's a couple of leaflets. Pattern things. Patchwork design. What's this? Oh, I don't know what this is. What is this? Okay, so there's the shape, but then why were they going this way? What was... I'm confused. I don't know why. Look, it keeps going. What did they do? I don't know what they were doing. I don't know what they were doing. Wow. I'll be figuring that one out. Now what's this? Oh, okay, I know what this is. So back in the day, oh, it's not what I thought. So back in the day, you used to be able to get big sheets of plain paper, and you were expected, you would get a pattern, and the pattern would give you the images and the measurements of the pattern piece, and you would have to draw it on a piece of tissue paper to those sizes and cut it out yourself. It didn't come pre-printed on the paper. So that, you really had to know what you were doing back then. I thought this sheet of paper was one of those. This sheet of paper apparently has all the instructions for a quilt. Look at this. It has loaded, can you see it? My arm's in the way. It's got hand-drawn pattern for lotus flowers, quilting suggestions for an applique design, following the lines of design for plain quilting, use something 42-3 in 1 4-inch strips, 84 on, I don't even know what any of that means. See catalog for design and prices. And then there's, so I guess it, I mean, what catalog ever sent you anything like this? And then all this is notes from somebody else about how it worked out well, what they would change. Gives the measurements of how much colored strips they needed to finish the quilt. That's going to take some closer inspection, but boy, that's not something I ever expected to see. Oh, wait. Okay, now it's like a road map. How do we fold this sucker back up? Okay, so there's the half line. And then there's the half line. Nope, not that way. That way. See, that's the trick to folding maps. Don't look at the map, look at the lines. And you'll be able to refold that sucker right back up. So this then is all just scraps. Look, somebody designed. Now you know this had to be the pattern somebody made for pillowcases. Because for a K, that'd be the Kraus last name. Oh, wow. Here's the pattern. And the piece is all hand stitched together and stuck to it. All right. If I can get the pin out of it, we might be able to see what this is. Okay, pin came out of that one. What do we got? We got a star. And judging from the fabric, I mean, this striped stuff looks like shirt fabric. But you know, back then, that's what they did. You didn't waste the... Okay, so your clothes got a hole in it at one spot? Well, then that became, you know, something in a quilt. You cut things apart. Most of the clothing was cotton back in the 40s. So you could just save all the cotton clothes would be saved. Anything, a lot of times if something was wool, they would use those for rag rugs. Everything got reused, repurposed. So it looks like there's just a lot of vintage odd bits. So I may have to sort this out. Some of this is remnants of some kind of pattern, but there's nothing. Is there anything written on it? Oh, it kept using pencil. You can't read it. Tulip quilt. So whatever this little batch of stuff is, it's for a tulip quilt. And there's just wonderful bits of old fabric. Wow. That is nice thin muslin. If anybody ever had a 1930s or 40s quilt that they just needed scraps to finish with, I think I just found them all. Crochet a baby doll. Looks like there's a stack of papers that are patterns. You know what I find interesting is these are not transfers. These are drawings. Look at this. Oh, I like this one. So this one has this great cat and dog image. And then it says Mary, born March 17th, 1931, age 8. This is my Aunt Mary. My dad was born in, I think my dad was 27. In 1927, I think was when he was born. And Mary came along later. But these are all cool drawings. Oh, wait a minute. Check this one out. It says Mary A. Long, November 18th, 1882. I don't even know who that is. I'll have to check the family tree. But look at the image. It's awesome. Somebody knew what they were doing. I know the other Mary on here, that would have been my aunt, my dad's sister. But a lot of these look like things that I've seen as transfer patterns on that you would iron on. And these are all done on trace paper, but they're all simple enough designs you could embroider them. I know my one aunt used to do that on my mom's family. Little boys playing baseball. That they used to draw their own. They'd draw their own patterns. Oh, something else with a pin in it. Pin over there. And they'd use the patterns. I think this one got used because there's all kinds of little holes in the paper. But they would draw the image and then they would draw it on tracing paper and then they'd put that over, they'd pin it down and then put the embroidery hoop over it to help hold it in place, and they'd stitch right through it and then you'd tear the paper away. It was a way that my great aunt also taught me when I was real young. That would make a neat little applique quilt picture. But that was how she taught me how to do some of the basic embroidery. That's how she started teaching me. So I wonder if some of these images weren't meant to be something like that. Yeah, I've run into some problems doing genealogy because unfortunately the Krause family Bible is not in the Krause family. It was given away to, and I don't even know her last name. I just know that her name was Hazel. And apparently my dad's father had been married before. And my aunt, not my aunt, well, my aunt's in this story. But we went down to Florida to meet her. And my aunt, while we're there, whips out the Krause family Bible, which we didn't even know existed, and gave it to her as a gift. Oh, this must go with the other piece for the lotus quilt. This must be the center block for the quilt. Great big lotus flower. That's awesome. But we never knew it existed. So we have none of the family tree information in there. And apparently a lot of that information went back about 100 years or more, and we got none of it. Have no clue. And unfortunately, she's passed away. Her husband's passed away. I don't remember their last name, and everybody who did know their last name has passed away. So that's a real problem. But yeah, it was a bummer because, wow, I could barely see that. So there was something on here, but it looks like they did it in pencil, and it's all just faded away to nothing. I can't quite tell what's on that one. So we've had a problem because Krause is kind of the equivalent of Smith for Germany. So trying to find the Krause family and find the right Krause family is a real bear challenge, especially as I don't read German. And so it's I could only get so far. But now my mom's family, that was a whole different thing. First off, I knew more of them. There's just odd bits, and really some of this striped stuff really looks like really looks like shirts. Like somebody had a man's shirt that they just cut apart. So all of this is just odd little bits of fabric. Well, here's a nice strip of, that's an old calico. A nice strip of it too. Looks like just the end cut. It's a pretty long piece. Now, that's long enough. You could get a lot out of it for a little, for small quilt pieces. And that's to the bottom of the box. So, all right. So then a few things I'll have to sort out and figure out. And, figure out what things actually go together. Since there's so many quilt patterns and odd little pieces in here. We do know, though, we have this tatting book, and I'm going to take the pieces, put them in the book that go with it. We'll put this falling apart lid back on here just to tidy it, keep it tidy. Stick you back there for now. But I think I may bring some of the, either get it online or maybe I'll bring it to Trisha's sale. I still think that's pretty cool. Even just as a decoration for spring, to stand it up, prop it up behind something. But it's so cool that it's the instructions and they did the die cut to make it really look cool. So maybe they'll be in Trisha's sale Saturday night. That would be fun. Because that'll be you night owls. Oh, my nose is itching. You night owls will be able to be there because Trisha's sale doesn't start until 10. I've thought about that, and actually, when I first got one of the inheritances, I actually talked to an auction company about that, and they didn't want to do it because, in their opinion, I didn't have enough high-end items to make it worth it. Because so much of what I have is the small stuff, which is why I still had, which is why I took a lot of it rather than have it go into a dumpster, is that it had value, but it was the small stuff that most people, most auction houses, there has to be a certain amount of large high-end items for them to feel like it's worth it. And there hasn't really been, there haven't really been anything like that. It would have been great if like somebody collected Fenton glass or something that actually had, $100 or more. Would be nice, but yeah, I got a Max sold booklet in the mail. So Backbeat, the doll thing, that was crocheting. Doing finding the ancestor part. You've been, oh, Fiona. I teach the genealogy merit badge. No, they're not all like that. They're not all like that. But in my area, there were only two places like that to go to. Max sold something I've only known about for a month. But at the time when I inherited some of this stuff, you go with what's in the area, and now the one did take all the big stuff when we cleared out the storage units. They took all the furniture. That was great. But this was all the minutia. But it's it's helping pay the taxes on the house. And yeah, you also have to be physically able to get it done. That was certainly not this year. But at least, I'm down to only one pinched nerve. The swelling in the knee from the shot I had, my knee no longer looks like it has a tennis ball blowing out the side of it. That's a good thing. Hey, Book, how are you, darling? I teach the genealogy merit badge for Boy Scouts, and this is from Church of the Latter-day Saint. Is a website called familysearch.org, and that has a lot of perks on it for free that are similar or even the same as ancestry.com has. Now, I don't know if it's in every library in the country, but I know if you're in Pennsylvania, I think it's in the entire state of Pennsylvania, but I know it's definitely in my county. You can get into ancestry.com, but only through the library's computers. And you can get in and search there, because some of my family tree is there because a friend and I had kind of like split the payment, and so we each were using the same account and putting our family tree on there. That was a long while ago. Updated. Family Search has been updated. Actually, added some information to it just last week. So, but it's Iris gets called book too. Okay. Sometimes it's hard to find people for genealogy because sometimes you run into a name that they like to repeat. In my mom's family, they like to repeat March Trout. So you got to pin down which of the five of them in which generation is the one that you track back to. That could be fun. Or in my mom's father's side, the problem is that Yost is a pretty common name, and it's common, and then it tracks into the Pennsylvania Dutch, and suddenly now you're in all over the place. It's a challenge. So it's like Yost is a popular name, Trout is a popular name in the Amish communities, and then you run into Kraus, which is the equivalent of Smith, and has three different spellings, um, and everything there. And no, it's funny is no matter what, all three of the main branches of the family all track back to Germany in different parts of Germany. And then there's these odd little branches that go off. And somebody recently added stuff to the family tree on Family Search, and they added an in-law branch, and it tracked all the way back to Switzerland to the 1500s, which I thought was pretty darn cool. And my dad's mother, that's a whole different thing because we have a book that tracks them back all the way to 1683. They came to this country for religious freedom, and they came on Charming Betty. So we actually even know the ship. So Forest Crabtree. Ah, Forest used to be it was a first name for a long while for a male. We have the best name we have in our family tree, which I think is so fun, is Sterling Prescott. And I've forgotten what last name he had, but I always thought Sterling Prescott was pretty cool. That was a fun name to have. What is the other? These were set aside because I need to do some research on some of these pictures. Well, not this one. I'm thinking of putting this one up on eBay. If you're in the Philadelphia area, there was a children's television show early on Saturday mornings, Captain Noah. And that is Captain Noah and his wife. A picture from sometime in, I think, 1980. He went to the same high school as my father. He was a year ahead of my dad. But I found some photos that I had to do research for Family Tree because, like, this one was apparently an old card, but it's got the names of my mom's cousins, and I didn't have all the names of the kids before. So now I don't have the dates or anything, but I can at least get the names added into the family tree. And I found an old wedding announcement, so I got the dates for that cousin's wedding. Then there were some pictures. I have no idea where these were from. Pictures of little kids. Now, some of these I could tell from the look of them, they were from the Lush family. Now, the Lush family is one branch of the family, and I just remember Aunt Ina, that whenever she had anywhere that had to have a name tag, she would put Ina, which was her first name, INA, but she would put an apostrophe as if it said as if it was I'm. So like you would have the apostrophe doing the I and the so she had that and she would let's get rid of that one. Why will it not let me? Well, we're just gonna do it that way. There we go. Yeah, it's been troll heavy tonight. There were a lot of trolls that hit me at the sale at 8 o'clock. It was pretty bad. It was pretty bad. So but it shoot, that made me lose my train of thought. One of those nights. But it was interesting. I do know that. The other, I thought these were cool, and no, these are not going to be up for sale. I knew I had an aunt and uncle. They were technically my great aunt and uncle, but Uncle George was really pretty close in age to my mom, so they kind of grew up like big brother. And I knew they had 4 kids that they had been foster parents to. Now back in the 50s. Oh, I was talking about Ina Lush. I don't know how the Lush family tree fits into ours, but I remember going to her house and they also had 6 kids. But Aunt Ina was a piece of work. I liked her. And some of these kids that I found in these old photos, I'm pretty sure are her side of the family tree. But I found these Christmas cards. And it's got those 4 little boys and their names, which is important. I never knew their names. And there's only 4 of them. Found them all together. And the first 3, look at how cute. Looking there, looking up waiting for Santa in there. And they're all in their matching pajamas. And then there's this great little drawing. And then now this one makes me wonder because then you get to this one. They're all in their coats. But and I love the snowman. Absolutely love that. But I wondered because it just has my great aunt and uncle's name signed on it. I never knew the boys' names. I knew about the youngest one that his name was Timmy, or his name was Tim. And Aunt Harriet talked about him once, and then his name was Timmy. But they wanted to adopt those boys so badly, but there was an accident, and one of them ran out into the street and got hit by a truck and passed away. And he was only little. And Tim, the youngest one, these 4 boys came to them. Tim was still a baby. So he didn't know any other parents other than those 2. And apparently after the accident, Children Youth Services and the actual birth mother insisted on yanking the kids. And then they ended up broken up into different families. And that didn't go, poor Tim, that did number on his head. But it was sometimes in finding this family tree information, you find it in the oddest places. Because, like I said, I never knew their names. And then I find Christmas cards that have their names on it. And I added that to the family tree, but I couldn't add any dates. I found this. Look at that cute, cute little face. And my fingers are over top of it. It says, "A Little Sweetheart." Now, it's got some little tears around the edges. This was hiding behind a picture in a photo album. And then there was this big one. I have no idea who she is. No idea. I'm assuming that's a graduation photo. But there's nothing on the back. She wasn't in a frame. No clue. No clue at all who she is. She may be coming to a live sale near you at some point. But that's I was trying to, get through some more stuff, and on the times when I needed to sit here with ice pack on my spine or on my knee. So today seems really pretty good. The knee hasn't been too bad. So Can you imagine having that as your last name? Lush. Must be rough growing up in high school with a name like last name is that. Because we had that was probably the most interesting of the last names in the family tree. So, so are you guys all getting ready for the holiday? My Boy Scouts all sold out of 500 trees in a week. They got the trees Sunday after Thanksgiving. They were done by the following Saturday. Done. 500 trees. We've been seeing things on the news about how there's a tree shortage. Now, we usually get 750 trees. We couldn't get 750. But apparently, quite a couple of years ago was the year we had drought conditions in this state, and they have had a tree problem everywhere around us. There had also been some kind of blight or something that hit some areas, some of the tree farms this year, and that took out a number of trees. Yeah, that's a Iris. That's a rough one to be called. So, hi, Happy Days, you're back. Hello, I saw you earlier tonight. So would you guys like to see what I had at the earlier sale that didn't sell? I can show you that stuff before I go to bed. But I miss you guys. I miss having my sales on Thursday nights at 11, you know? I miss you guys a lot. All right, I can show you guys what they didn't appreciate. I shouldn't say that. I mean, I know Happy Days and Fiona loved my sale. So I have a couple of owls. I've got a couple of. I may put this away for St. Patrick's Day if it doesn't sell. We had all kinds of technical difficulties earlier. So this figure on the front of this is Finn. I gotta get the name right. McCool. Maccoul. Now, this is made by Wade of Ireland. That same Wade pottery that does the Wade whimsies. And this is there's a slight green tinge to it. It mostly comes off looking as brown in the light. But this guy was considered the Celtic giant, apparently, in the folklore of Ireland, which is why all these little white things you see, these are the houses down at his feet. And it's not very big, but I thought it would be a cute little thing that if somebody's since it is Irish, that maybe, and it's Irish folklore, it might be something fun to have around for St. Patrick's Day. And this was $5, and it was number 54 for that little guy. And this is a teeny little thing. He's pewter and crystal. Now his whole tummy there, well, actually his whole body is a faceted cut crystal little ball. And he's got a wonderful face. Look at that little face. But he's made by a pewter company. Yeah, little bitty. This thing is under an inch. It's just under an inch tall. It's made by a company called Fireball, and Fireball specializes in making pewter and crystal little figures. They do wizards, dragons, owls, all kinds of cool stuff. What I could not find out on this one is the maker's mark on the bottom for Fireball is nice and clear, but the maker's mark on the bottom, I don't think you're going to be able to see that. But the maker's mark on the bottom for the artist, which would be a stamp with their initials, it's so tiny and it didn't take that well, I cannot read any of the initials. So this little guy was $6 and was number 28. $6, number 28, if anybody's interested in the little crystal owl. Good night, Melanie. Oh, early morning dentist. That's as bad as me having to go to therapy. Now this guy, I have the original box, and until the sale, this has never been out of the box. Santa's Workbench is the Christmas line that is done for Joann Fabrics. And this is from 1998. It is a mechanical tin toy of an elephant riding his little trike. You see really nice colors all the way around on him. And he has this ball. Now, if you wind him up, he does run, but then the ball spins around. This thing just screams cat toy to me because, you know, a cat would be going after that fringe in a heartbeat. He is pretty tall. He's not a tiny little thing. And he's 10 inches tall. He's 10 inches tall and he's 5.5 inches long. Now he does have a sticker over here. It says for collectors, not for children. And I think that's because when they put him together, the little tabs on the back are out. So you do have these little metal pieces to be mindful of when you touch him. But he is a really cool, really well put together mechanical tin toy. And Backbeat wants the Fireball. Okay. And the elephant tin toy was $12, which is a nice price because these things are usually, brand new ones are usually pretty pricey. And he's only out of the packaging just to be able to show him off. He is $12, number 67, for the wonderful little elephant on bike wind up tin toy. Come here, you stand back up now. Put you back in over there. It's all right, Backbeat. I saw you. I wrote you down for the 28 for the Fireball. And the elephant was $12, number 67. Where'd the little earrings go? These were little, now they are plastic. They have mercury glass little balls inside. This is their original card. It says KEF, K-E-F-F Creations. They are screwback earrings. And these little guys have silver glitter around the rim. And then it doesn't pick it up, but there's really fine white glitter on the white plastic balls. They're really light, I mean the white plastic bells. They're really lightweight, really neat little vintage things. And then the fact to find them on the original card is rare enough. And these were $5, number 81. $5, number 81. Close to the camera. I can try. We're doing better with come on, focus. It doesn't want to focus. So one thing, it's an Android phone, but boy, you know, the autofocus on the front is really crap when the phone's facing you. Keff Creation is who made them, Keff. And who made the elephant? Well, the elephant was made in China, most likely. Made in China, 1998, distributed by Fabricenters of America, which is the parent company owns Joann Fabrics. As I said, I have and it was made specifically to be part of the Santa's Workshop brand, which is their Christmas brand for Joann Fabrics. So let's see, who else do I have? Where's the bag of Christmas stuff? What did I do with the bag of Christmas stuff? Well, there's the bag of Christmas stuff. I have a bag of Christmas stuff. What is Jan? Jan has a jingle that she sings, Christmas crap, her and Julie. And now a few pieces in here are vintage. Like this really cool. This is flocked. The top hat is flocked. I like the deer myself, but this is all plastic. This, I would bet money, is a little made in Japan. Flat. A little made in Japan ornament piece. And then the rest, it's a variety of stuff. You get the whole bag. Some of it's more modern. Some of it needs help. Like her. She's losing her arm. Coming off from the glue. There's a lot of little plastic. And some of these picks are old because they're the wired pipe cleaners are on them. You have a drum, saxophone. You have part of the nativity. There's no building, and it looks like we're missing a lamb on that. And there's some little plastic pieces. There's a little wooden owl. There's one Christmas ball in there. There's a thing of bows. So it's just basically all just an odd craft lot. I'll tuck her down in there. There's a plastic thing of mistletoe down in there. And for the whole bag, you get the whole bag for, get in there. So you get all this, little purple beads in there, $8, number 70. So $8, number 70 for the bag of craft stuff. There's a few vintage pieces. There's a few more modern pieces, but all fun stuff to play with. Where are we now? That's old, that's old, that's old. Aha. Oh, I know, Iris. The braided rag rugs never do go for what they're worth because they are very time consuming. But boy, they last forever, don't they? So I have another little owl. It's a little art glass. Book, I said who made the elephant. It was made in China for Fabricenters of America, and that's all it's got on there. It's made in China. Fabricenters of America is who owns Joann Fabrics, and it was made to be Santa's Workbench, which is the brand for all of the Christmas. Well, it used to be the brand in the 90s for all of the Christmas stuff sold at Joann Fabrics. But this little art glass owl, he's handmade little glass owl. He has a lovely little amber color body. There's little lines to give definition to all the wings, little lines on the tails. And he's so cute. And there's even little lines on the little feathers up top, which almost look like eyebrows. Now, I there's a term for this kind of glass, and it's everything I'm looking at online on eBay anyway said hand blown, handmade glass. But I think he's made with what they call lamp work, where I thought lamp work was the term, where you make beads or small little things and you have a blowtorch and you manipulate the glass with that. But boy, some of them are really surprisingly pricey. But he's a cute little guy. Now you can feel the pontil where his piece would have been, because often they made these and they would shape them and it would be from a glass rod and they would shape it down. They did a beautiful job because where the white is, there's no separation there. You can tell that the wings were applied on, and this yellow of the eyes was applied on, and so was the beak. But this white in the body, it's all perfectly fused in there together. And you can feel there is a little pontil piece right underneath there, but it doesn't affect him standing up on anything. And he's just an inch high. But these little art glass pieces, he is $10. He's number 27. $10, number 27, for the little art glass owl. I hear a crying little kitty. I'll be right back. Move it. Silly little girl. Silly, silly, silly little girl. So she managed to get herself locked in the basement. Because when Mike got home, he went down to change his laundry over, and she must have snuck in and followed him. And I'm wondering, why am I hearing this cat? And it sounds like she's under my feet. It's because she was locked in the basement, and she was back in the hole under where it's all dirt and meowing. Oh my. So I see I see Lois was the first one for the owl. Wait, seriously, she's going out? Better not be. Did she go out that front door? She better not have. I just got her out of the basement and she had just come in just before that. Little stinker. Okay, where is it? Yes, you. Now she's under my feet. Honestly, these cats. What are you doing to me? Don't you claw me. You already got me once. You're on my crap list. Where is. Okay, so. What is Steph doing? Steph is doing pickle jokes. So I have a vintage Beetle Bailey book called I'll Throw the Book at You. Now, in some newspapers, Beetle Bailey still is run as a Sunday comic. This one is from 1973. So it basically was always a fun thing about Army life. So if you know anybody that is in the Army, it could be a fun gag gift to give to somebody. She started a joke. She has to finish the joke now. But the Beetle Bailey book is $5 and is number 11. $5, number 11 for Beetle Bailey. All right, Steph, you got to finish the joke, darling. You can't cheat on me like that. Yeah, I know, right? I like pickles, and I don't have any pickles left in the house. All right, this was something else I had, and I think we figured out there were 13 of them. I don't know if any of my ephemera people are here. I have 13 old black and white photos. They are almost all of this Springer Spaniel that was my great aunt's. Look at that face. Isn't that so cute? I vaguely now see I know they had more than one Springer Spaniel, but I do remember vaguely them having one that was black and white when I was real little. But I don't know if this is the same one or not. No way of knowing. Because there's no dates or anything written on any of this. So there are. Come on. It's hard to get these things to separate this way. Great. I mean, they're nice poses. If you wanted to use them in junk journaling, there's a lot of nice poses of the dog in here. And then in the back, there's a few of the dog with some unknown children. I do know that they don't look like my siblings, and they don't look like my cousins that I know. So they're not the ones that they might be second cousins of my mother, maybe. I don't know. So you get all of these for $5, number 32. $5, number 32 for the vintage pictures, probably from, I'd say, maybe the mid 60s. So you $5, you get 13 of the pictures from the Spaniels, number 32. I do still have this. This was, some of you have seen this before. This was a Pennsylvania Dutch mug that's cold painted, and there's a little bit here and here where the cold painting has come off. It is made in Japan, has its original little foil sticker, But, you know, for assemblages on your little table, this would be cute because you could put something up top and use it that way and just have the wood grain showing and look like a little tree stump to display things. That's $5 and is number 14. The only thing that's funny about this is like the red wagon, because the Pennsylvania Dutch, the Amish never make their wagons red. But that was $5, number 14. And then I have a batch of maps. Now, one of these is from 1968. If you want to do any decoupage with world maps, there's a bunch of them here. And I see Lois for 14. Thank you. But there, this one's 1968. And then there's this one is, I think, from the 80s. There's two others that are National Geographic, Deep South and Far West. And then there's this great big one. This is the kind you really want to hang up on the wall. I mean, this thing, look how, I mean, that's just one square of this thing. How big this is. And this one is the whole country, but where's the side? The back of it has one of these cool Landsat maps, which is an aerial photograph, and it shows you all the topography. So it shows you where all the mountains are, and then where all this green is the Great Plains. And then you get over to the East Coast, and you can see, it shows on here, you can see where the Appalachian Mountains are because you can see where all the ridges are. So it's really kind of cool. Now, it does have some kind of a coating on this paper. So it does seem like you could wipe this off. It's from 1978. So this, come on, fold. So this one is more one kind of to decorate with, but you could decoupage with these. The cool part of these two that are from National Geographic, where do you see the artwork in this stuff? I saw that, and Steph, thank you for being entertaining for me. But you have the map on one side of like the Deep South with Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, Arkansas, Louisiana, Florida. But all the info and pictures on the back you could use for junk journaling or, you know, just decoupage work. So the batch of maps is $5 and is number 10. $5, number 10. You can use them for any crafting thing you want. And am I missing an owl? I'm missing a brass owl. There we go. Three dirtiest things on a stove. Wow, that is an old joke. So, how many of you even know what a lifter is on a stove? Because that goes back to the old cast iron stoves to have a lifter. That's funny. If you don't know what a lifter is, I'll tell you. A lifter on a stove, when you had the wood stoves, you have the burners were always these circular metal plates, and they had a notch in them. And the lifter was this special little handle that would slide into that notch, and you'd be able to lift that flat round piece up. Because sometimes you wanted to just drop little bits of wood in from the top because you wanted more heat just at that one burner. And that's what the lifter was. So you could lift it up while it was hot. And it was usually a little kind of a curved and then a flat piece. Boy, that's so old to have lifter. Yep, it's the thingy to pick up the burners. So I have another little owl. He's a little brass owl. He's got some cuteness to him. He's kind of got that. He reminds me of the oh, who's the guy that does, not Adler? He does all these figures in kind of a mid-century modern look, and they're all kind of fat and pudgy, and they're usually all white. But this is a little brass one. It's not marked. It is solid. It is solid. He's a heavy little guy. But he's just a hair over an inch tall. But for the little brass owl, he is $6, number 60. $6, number 60 for the little solid brass owl. He's a cute, squat little thing. Now this little box, Lois likes her owls. Thank you, Lois. This little guy is an owl ornament, and it's from 1977. Now, in the 70s, things out of clear plastic or lucite were really popular. This little guy, the box doesn't look like much, but it actually comes in its own little pouch. And I had trouble showing this earlier because there was so hard to get the image to show. Yeah, I'm going to have the same hard time too. So there's a crescent moon along the edge here, and it's a mama and a baby owl on a branch, and they're leaning into each other. And I cannot get this to show well enough. Maybe if I do it this way, it'll show better. Oh, that shows a little bit better. I flip it around. You can see this a little bit better. Can you see all the feather work on those owls? Even that picture doesn't quite do it justice. The birds are actually looking at each other, and when you see it up close, you can actually tell that the way they did the eyes, they're actually looking at each other. The baby's looking up and the mom's looking down, and the feather work on it is just incredible. There's so many little details of feather work on this thing. It's really cool looking, and it's in great shape. There's no scratches or anything to it, probably because it's been kept in its little pouch. But it's a wonderful little owl ornament, and it is $4. $4, number 73 for the owl ornament. I think I know the answer to that book, but I'm not sure. Oh, and Lois would like the owl ornament. Thank you, Lois. Yeah, I was thinking that too, Lois, that it was going to be Kermit. I have a vintage, it says the Velvet Blend book. Milk rich carnation recipes put out by Carnation Condensed Milk. Now, judging from the clothes and that hairstyle, this could be from the late 40s, early 50s. It does have an issue where the top part of the spine here is starting to split on the cover part. I think this is probably early 50s. Some of the pages are a full page picture. I'm still trying to figure out some of the stuff for that slumber party because StreamYard only lets you have so many hours to stream for free. So I have to start figuring out how long it's going to be, when exactly it's going to be. This has everything from casserole dishes to candies to desserts to pies. It's just a slim little thing, but it covers a lot. And this is frozen desserts. Well, even though one side is a photo, there's 5 different desserts here. So there's quite a lot in here. I love that there's candy. That's something you just don't see in modern cookbooks. I don't know what the shipping would be for that little owl. There's even beverages in here, though I draw the line. I draw the line at pineapple eggnog. I am not drinking pineapple. I don't like pineapple. I'm not drinking pineapple eggnog. It seems a waste of good eggnog. See what I mean? The trolls have been out in force. Absolutely out in force today. Ugh, they're just a mess. There we go. Get rid of her. So this is a neat little thing to have. It's $5. It's number 24. $5, number 24. We sold that, we sold that, we sold that. So that was everything. That was everything that I had at the sale. And I mean, that was an awful lot of stuff I got to show you guys because I didn't have that many people there tonight, which I think that's gonna be. Oh yeah, I reported her. But I think that's the way December might be, having a sale at 8 o'clock. I mean, I don't have quite the same following that Patrick does because I have such oddball stuff. So I was thinking of maybe doing this and coming on after Patrick. Now, next week Patrick will not be on because he's traveling. So I'll be on. I may shorten up the 8 o'clock sale to only being an hour and then be on again at 11 and have a sale then, the big sale. This weekend, I'm on Trisha's channel on Sandy and Otto. So I will be 10 o'clock Eastern time. So I'll be at that sale. And then I'm with Trisha again the Wednesday before Christmas for her Wednesday sale. And I don't have it near me to show you, but I know for Trisha's sale, I think it's Fenton. Well, I don't have it with me to show you because it's upstairs with my book on Fenton. It's a little boot. It's only about 4 inches high, and it's blue. It's blue glass. Really kind of cool. And it looks like that. What do they call it when it's that kind of color, like custard glass or something? But that'll be with me at Trisha's. Well, backbeat rhythm, yeah, that can be a problem if there's a time where, oh, this should be in that bag, where if there was a problem with payment at any time, the resellers all talk to each other, so you don't want to get yourself in trouble that way. Don't get a bad reputation in this community. That's not a good thing. But, okay, well, that's where I'm at. It's 2 o'clock. I have to be back up for physical therapy. So, yep, come find me. Find me on Sandy and Otto on Saturday night, and I will have the little blue glass booth. I don't think it glows. I will double check, but I'm pretty sure it doesn't glow. But I was trying to find out who made it because it's not marked in any way. And it's light blue. It's not the dark cobalt blue. It's light blue. And it's not see-through. It's, what's the term? Opaque? I'll learn these glass terms yet. I really don't know much about glass. I'm trying to learn. So, so that will be when I have that. And I should have the last bit of vintage Christmas wrapping paper that night too at her sale. So yeah, books right, Backbeat. Email. If there's a problem on any channel, just email them. Email them and talk to them. So be selling more books too, or any of the stuff from tonight. Probably not. I may have more books. I went through 3 boxes of books and they all turned out to be, except for the few I pulled out, they all turned out to be stuff that really needs to be on eBay because there were things like signed editions of a photography book that was all uncovered bridges. That market for that would be better off on eBay. So there was that kind of stuff, and or really specialty. Like there was one book that was all about it was all about special high fidelity stereo systems. That's again something that would have to be on eBay where there's a wider audience because it's such a specialized market. So that's the problem. It doesn't fit that vintage market that I tend to hit for on the channel here. And I tried getting into the other end of the living room where some of the boxes of books are, and I could only lift so much. And pattern paper, yeah, the pattern papers are interesting. I'm not quite sure what's going to happen with them, but we'll figure it out. And then I don't know. I might just do it as a quilter's odd lot, put it all together and just offer it as a special here, Did you guys enjoy it when I had that crafter sale where it was just all the odd bits of stuff to make things with? Because that seemed to me like that went over really well. Because I'm seriously thinking of starting to like put stuff together for that. Because God knows there's enough craft stuff hiding in this house. And let's not forget that a lot of boxes of crafting stuff are at Philly Flipper's warehouse. So, and I have to talk to him. I haven't talked to him in a while, and that stuff's still there. It wasn't supposed to be there this long, but then I got hurt. Oh, yeah, Iris, man, I wish I had help because I'd love to have my black hole challenge room finished, but that means having to lift and move some things, and I can't lift it. So, but it's all gonna get there. All gonna get there eventually. I've just been a lot slower in the last 6 months with pinched nerves, and so we're hanging in there, and we're getting the stuff out of here, and we're just moving it on along, just moving it all along. Keep on going. Ah, so yeah, there seems to be a lot of crafters in the community, a lot. So it seemed to do well, and boy, there better be a lot of crafters and sewers when I can finally get into that dining room, because there must be a ton of fabric in there. So yeah, Fiona will be showing up. She'll be rolling over here from Singapore with empty luggage just to get all the fabric. That would be fun. It'd be like if I went to visit Jan. Man, I know there'd be a chain lamp hiding in my luggage. Probably some books too. So I'm gonna get going because we're heading to 2:30, and I have to be back up again for physical therapy. Oh joy. Well, yeah, my mom did all her sewing. The dining room table, which is this massive Civil War era table, did all her cutting out and piecing of things was all done on the dining room table. And then the sewing machine was in the room back there. So she'd pick everything up, walk down the hallway to the sewing machine, because that was in the playroom where all the kids' toys were kept. So, Steph, when are you selling? So, ooh, jewelry bits and pieces. Lovely. So Steph's will have her set. You'll be selling on Sunday. I'll be selling with Trisha on Saturday. And then yeah, Iris, and then who was the other one? Oh, Sarah from Thrift U. She wants to get into the attic. She wants to raid my parents' Christmas stuff. Ah, there we go. Steph's got the reminder in there of hers. 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern on Sunday. All right, I will try to be there for that. My basement doesn't have quite as much in it. Oh yeah, sure, Happy Days. I'd love to see that. The only other thing I found is I haven't had a chance to do anything with them because I wanted to throw them through the wash, and then that way I could maybe iron out the. I found two vintage aprons. This one's a little green gingham, but this one's kind of cool. It's a sheer fabric. Kind of reminds me more of Valentine's Day because the pockets are little hearts, but these are and it's pink. It's little pink, but there's little angels all over the fabric. I thought those were kind of cool. I found these only about 10 minutes before my sale earlier tonight and went, oh, I don't know what they were doing tucked into a box of books, but okay. Oh, yeah, I know at some point there's a lot of embroidery flaws in this house. Oh, there's a lot of everything craft kind of sewing related in this house. It's just I can't get to all of it at any one time. But we'll get there. We will get there. There's space. I can see floor space at the other end of the living room I couldn't see before. So it is getting there. So you guys have a good week. I will see you, some of you I will see Saturday night. And I'm sure I'll see a lot of you in the chats over off and on in the next week. And then next Thursday, then will be 8 o'clock and 11 o'clock for sale for me. And I'm still plugging away at packing stuff. I've got a whole pile here. Michael brought them downstairs for me. And I'll get you guys all squared away. Still working on that. I want to be caught up as much as possible. I kind of hit a roadblock now because I had to pay the electric bill. So now I've got to make some more money to actually be able to pay the postage. Once it gets into PayPal, you have to download it, and then you got to wait like 3 days. So, all right. Good night, everybody. Have a great weekend. If you're in Pennsylvania, my side of PA, this southeast corner, it's supposed to be near 70 degrees. It is freezing cold in the 30s tonight, but then Saturday's supposed to be near 70. Probably be the last warm day we have till next spring. So, good night, everybody. See you next week. And don't forget, Steph has a sale too on Sunday night. Bye.